Hello and welcome to today's video. I am Tirathalion, your YouTube psychic, and as you see before you, it is that time of the month, and no, I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is our June Pick a Card. So, this time I decided to go with a Disney theme. We have Yzma, the little pop figurine. We have something here that you millennials may never know or never have seen one of these. But ask your parents, your aunts and uncles, and your grandparents. This is a checkbook. This is an old archaic way of paying bills. So I may be dating myself, but at least someone is dating me. Just kidding. I'm actually married. See? He put a ring on it. Now, the last thing is another thing that you millennials have probably never seen before. This is the Little Mermaid VHS tape. So, what we're going to do is, I want you to take a moment, think about these items, and figure out which one is calling you. What will be done is down below in the description section, you will see where I start each of these readings, a timestamp. So if you pick the VHS tape of The Little Mermaid, you would skip to whatever time it shows in the description area. So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll go ahead and move everything over that we're not getting into right now. And the first thing we're going to start with is our pop. So I'll put that there. And our cards will be laid out as so. Trying to make sure I've got a good viewing window. Now, the first four cards are our tarot cards, and our last two cards are from Oracle decks. So there's one from a neutral/positive deck, and then one from a somewhat negative deck. Now, the first card that pops up here today for our Yzma people is the Page of Swords. Now, the Page of Swords is telling us that thought is a powerful force, and it may be that you need to utilize your own analytical skills to develop your own ideas instead of following others. So instead of being a follower this month, you're going to want to become a leader and start following your own intuition and thoughts. The next card, this is the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands depicts a mock battle. There are these four guys taking aggressive stances towards this one. And what this means is that challenges may arise requiring you to defend yourself. Now, wands can wands can usually mean in a business sense. Now, one thing to remember, it will be stimulating, but also you need to remember to CYOA, and that means cover your own A word. The next card is the Ace of Coins. Now, the Ace of Coins is depicted by Celeborn. Basically, it shows him on his throne, and decisions are being made on material matters. This is from the Lord of the Rings tarot deck. Now, what this card is saying is that a new doorway is opening up work-wise. So, dealing with material questions of life and a new spirit of adventure. So that's what this card is meaning. The next card comes from our Ghost Tarot deck. This is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is telling us that in the refusal to fight and the lack of energy, it is necessary to know how to see the hope that is offered to us, even if it seems to arrive out of nowhere. So keep your eyes open and notice when someone is offering you hope, even if it does come from someone that's not around you anymore. Now our next card, this comes from the Barbieri Oracle deck, and this card is Jupiter. Now this card is associated with the Roman god, Jupiter, and he was the god of heaven and earth. It is thought, and he's thought of as a fair and just protector. Now, Jupiter is often thought of as the planet of luck and expansion. So, be ready for growth and a bit of good luck this month. Now, your last card is Atonement, and this comes from our Dark Mirror Oracle deck. Now, Atonement is it's time to let go of the ifs and buts. This is the bed that you've made for yourself, so the time has come for you to atone. You've got to come clean and deal with the things that you've done here recently. So, June is going to be a tough month for you guys that chose Yzma. But I do believe that you can handle it. There's nothing that can be dealt to you that you can't manage. Next, we have our checkbook people. So if you chose the checkbook with the Disney characters on it, this is your reading, or your month of June. Alright, now the first card that we see here is from the Sacred Circle Tarot deck. This is the Ace of Wands reversed. Now, the Ace of Wands is saying that you are not trying to reach your full potential. You have plenty of ideas, you are just not seeing them through. You need to learn confidence in yourself and your creative vision. So, you have the ideas and you just need the energy and confidence in order to see those ideas through. Our next card is the Ace of Pentacles. And this card is represented by the World Tree. You can see the goddess reaching up to the heavens. She's giving life and abundance, while she is also staying grounded, with her feet firmly planted on the ground and her roots growing into the soil. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, it can herald success and prosperity, financial gain, a new career or business, or a new sense of self-worth. Life is stable, and a sense of well-being comes with this card. So, the month of June, you're going to find your self-worth and have, a bit of stability. The next card comes from our Lord of the Rings Tarot deck. This is the Seven of Wands. And this card depicts Aragorn on top of Weathertop, trying to rouse his hobbit companions to, ward off and fight the approaching Nazgul, or the riders. This card is telling you to cut your problems down one by one. Don't let issues build up and overwhelm you. You have to resist attack even when it comes in subtle forms. So be ready to, be ready for subtle attack, and or make sure that you are dealing with all your problems as they arise. Nothing is worse than being overwhelmed with issues. The next card comes from our Ghost Tarot deck. This is card 19, or the Sun. Now, this one says that not everyone is obliged to live in the light. In fact, occasionally the light is a difficult burden to bear, capable of wounding more deeply than a sword. True light is within us, a mirror of light that brings the universe to life. So what this is telling me is that, sometimes it's going to be okay to keep a secret. Especially if you or the person you're keeping it from is not ready to hear it. Make sure that before you tell them what you're thinking or what you've been hiding, that you're ready to deal with the consequences of what's going to happen. Make sure that if things do go well and you walk into the light and everything is perfect, and if not, make sure you're ready to deal with the darkness that can come. Our next card is Libra, and Libra is basically, the scales or balance. And what this card is telling us is to ask yourself, how can I manifest fair and stable balance? The phrase that comes with Libra is I balance. So what I balance means is, fairness, justice, and everyone getting along are the primary motives that come with this card. The last card we have, again from our Dark Mirror deck, is Calling the Storm. Now this card is telling us to avoid being the shit stirrer. There's going to be drama, and you'll want to be in the eye of the storm rather than in the storm itself. Nobody likes drama, so make sure that you're not the one stirring the pot, basically. Alright, so if you chose the checkbook, this was your reading for the month of June. Doesn't sound like it's going to be too bad. Just make sure that you're not the one stirring the pot. Alright, now, so for those of us, me included, that chose the VHS of The Little Mermaid, this is our reading. Let's go ahead and get them laid out. Alright, and our first card is going to be, again, from the Sacred Circle Tarot deck. This is the Four of Discs, and it is reversed. So this is saying that you are suspicious of others. You fear delegating authority because you don't want to lose control of your surroundings. So we need to work on our suspicions. The next card is the Two of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles is all about balancing the ups and downs of life. Now, moderation is the key with this card. So, if you're working too hard, rest is required. If you're putting too much into a relationship, make sure that you start looking, to your needs instead of someone else's. Our next card is the Ace of Swords, and this card depicts the intervention of Gwahir the eagle. It represents a major breakthrough. Now this is the Lord of the Eagles. I just couldn't pronounce his name for some reason. And his intervention in the battle did help turn the tide for, the hobbits and the Hobbit and the dwarves. in the Battle of the Five Armies. Now this card is, well, it basically means a breakthrough. A sudden resolution, the use of power in just the right measure, effective and timely intervention. So, our next card is the Three of Chalices from our Ghost Tarot deck. And this card says that emotions create ties that remain in our memory and return when we see places, hear sounds, or taste flavors. In this way, nothing is totally forgotten. So, what this is telling me is that, this month we're going to be doing a bit of reflecting and thinking back on someone or something that we've lost. When it comes to June, in my case, since this is the one I picked, June is the month that I lost my brother, my father, and my cat. So June is going to be a tough month for me, and, seeing this card here, it basically says, what's going to happen. And I knew it would, because it happens every June. Alright, our next card is again from the Barbieri Oracle deck, and this is Virgo, or the Virgin. Now what this card is telling us to do is to ask yourself what can be ignored and what must be attended to. The key phrase with Virgo is, I analyze, and the details matter. So what this is telling us is that, with everything going on and all the background noise, it's easy to forget what's most important. We need to learn to tune out all of the background noise and focus on the things that we must deal with. Our last card is the Addicted card from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. And this one says, what are you addicted to? Try to work through your addiction. It may be possible to reach for the skies when you are bound by chains. So, it would be a lot easier if you would look around and ask for help. So, if you're like me, I'm the type that doesn't like to ask for help at all. So, that's going to be an issue for me this month. Okay, so if you did pick the VHS of The Little Mermaid like I did, that was your reading and my reading. My overall thoughts on this is it's going to be a rough month like I imagined. If you selected the checkbook, it's going to be a decent month for you. There's nothing bad going on. You're going to be able to balance things and get things taken care of. And the Yzma Pop, there are a lot of new things coming up when it comes to work, and you are going to have to defend yourself when it comes to work. So, if you're in the workplace, you are going to have a few issues there. Well, this was your video for today. Do not forget to like this video. Leave a comment down below. Which one did you choose? Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell icon so that you're notified every time that I upload a video. And have a wonderful day.